What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And this one I wanted to break down what's going on with Tesla SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what the news is saying about Tesla stock this morning, what news just came out that's affecting the markets, and what is going to happen with all these Fed speakers coming out for today. But before I break anything down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount to my NCD account, you are guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. Now, this offer ends in just 12 days once again, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with Tesla. Tesla's currently down about 5.8% in the pre-market. We're starting to see some buyers trying to defend this 224 to 225 area. However, it's still looking very weak on the 4-hour time frame, and I do believe there's more downside to come for Tesla as we have a gap down below to fill. However, even though Tesla could see more downside in the future, it is not the end of the world. Tesla is oversold, and this is exactly what institutions want. They want to incite lots of fear. They want us all to become scared and start selling Tesla so they could be the ones to buy down here before a monstrous bounce for the more medium to longer term. I will talk more about that in a later video. I just want to focus now on what's happening today. So for now, when it comes to the markets, I just want to remind you that we basically have initial jobless claims coming out. Actually, I think it just came out. It's at 198,000, which is a little bit lower than expectations. And then later on, we have Jefferson from the Fed giving a speech. He's going to be giving a speech at about 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, or super early or 30 minutes before the market opens. Then after that, we have some home sales data coming out 30 minutes after the market opens. Then we have Jerome Powell giving a speech alongside more Fed speakers. So Powell gives a speech at 12 p.m. Eastern time. That is about 2.5 hours after the market opens. When Powell opens his mouth, expect some high volatility, and it's going to be very interesting to witness. Now, could this be a nothing burger? There's always that possibility. But at the same time, Powell could take this as an opportunity to be more hawkish because of the fact that retail sales is going up and the unemployment numbers are still favoring the job sector and not looking too weak. Now, when it comes to data affecting the markets, at least for the time being, just wanted to mention that Treasury yield has soared. Basically, the 10-year yield is once again breaking the 4.9% area. It's the first time since 2007, which is contributing to the market slowing down. We saw Tesla's earnings, which weren't the strongest. Netflix had decent earnings. And then we have Jerome Powell speaking very soon. So you guys can see him right here. Tesla missed on both EPS and revenue. Netflix, however, did relatively well. We saw Netflix, continue to hold up. So it surged with its subscriber growth and things like that. So good news for them. But Tesla was in a different place. The new 10-year Treasury yield is so high, especially because of these mortgages hitting these crazy high rates. The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate hit 8% on Wednesday morning, which is the highest level since mid 2000s. So that's pretty significant. I'm going to be watching to see how this affects us. And there's more talk going on about, the whole Israel situation, which is once again very horrible for both sides. And that's pretty much it for now. There's also just more drama from politics, which I'm not going to get into in too much detail. When it comes to Tesla, analysts from Wedbush to Citi are cutting their price targets. Basically, they're talking about Tesla dropping, actually not really hitting their target of 350 instead of going to like 310. So some of them are coming out and changing their views. And then on top of this, it's because of Tesla's revenue and profit miss. There's a lot of headlines coming out that Tesla missed its profit targets. Tesla's down big time, and all this FUD, all this fear is coming out involving Tesla. Honestly, guys, I'm okay because, like I said before, this is just another buying opportunity. And the more Tesla drops, the more I'm going to be buying, not financial advice. And the long term is still very bright. I do believe Tesla will make a historic bounce later in the future, towards the end of this year, if not by early next year. And I still think that even in November, we could see some buyers step in. It just may not be as aggressive as what we saw from before. But going back, however, we're not in November. We still have some time left in October, going into like the very early stages of November, and Tesla's still looking bearish. All right, so there's going to likely be more downside anyways. So now let's break down Tesla. So looking at the trend, we basically have this clear head and shoulders right here on the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to switch to the 4-hour just for now. So it's right here. Now, with this head and shoulders like pattern, you guys can see Tesla's going to likely come all the way down towards this target into like the very low 210s. And I believe Tesla's going to eventually make its way down there. Now, it's worth noting that when you come to the left here, Tesla has a gap all the way down here from 218, around 218, coming all the way down to that area. So, with that gap on Tesla down there, I think Tesla's going to basically come down to at least 218, if not the 210 area. And I think that there's going to be more downside coming for the stock. Now, for now, right now, at the time I'm talking, we're seeing some buyers trying to defend this 225 zone. I don't think it's going to last, though. I think that Tesla's going to try to see some buyers step in, try to get it close to 230. It's going to chop a little bit, but then later on, either by the end of the day today, if not by going into like tomorrow, it's very likely Tesla's going to continue sinking towards 225, maybe break below it, and then fill the gap all the way down towards 218 into the 210s. I believe that's very likely. It's going to happen over the next couple of trading days, and I do believe there's more downside nonetheless. There are going to be buyers stepping in at first to pump it towards 230, and it's going to chop around a bit, but there is going to be more downside later on. For the short term, I just want to warn you about that, as we're starting to see fear meet a peak for Tesla. Now, as far as SPY goes, this is in a very, very different state. SPY right now is attempting to rebound a little bit after forming this very, very nice bottoming formation, at least temporarily, after some data came out. So I just wanted to call out this trend on SPY. Basically, SPY has come down quite a bit. I would say that on SPY, we formed this divergence right here, and we're trying to see this thing get a little higher. But right now, like I called out earlier, we had this head and shoulders like pattern on SPY. There could be more downside still coming, especially for the full measured move for 425. So what do I think SPY is going to do? Well, I think that what's very likely is it's going to make an attempt for about 432. It's going to try pumping towards 432 or so. It's just going to chop around between 432 and 433, go back and forth until Jerome Powell gives his speech. And then Powell could cause a big rug pull. If he causes a rug pull, expect SPY to come down to 427. If he gives us a pump, we could see SPY try to make its way back into the 434 plus area, but it's all going to depend on Powell. So I see a small pump and lots of chop as time goes on. Same thing with the QQQ, basically. This thing came down quite a bit early on, and then this thing started to continue to sink. So moving forward, I believe the QQQ is just going to chop around this 365 to 366 area, go back and forth for some time, be very boring. It's going to pump a little bit, then chop around a bit. And then Jerome Powell will give a speech. And we're going to see a big reaction. So if we're really bearish after Powell, we could see this thing approach 362. If we're really bullish, we want to see this thing go up to 368. So we're going to be watching this very carefully. As far as Nvda goes, I just wanted to call out that Nvda coming down right here, it's basically approaching the support. So with this support essentially coming, I would say that Nvda is in a position where it's going to make an attempt to try to get back to 430. No guarantees it's going to last, though, even though it may hit 430, maybe even 432. Things could always change with Powell's speech. So we'll see if Powell pumps us towards 437, or from 432 if we get this like rug pull all the way back down towards 416. So we're going to be watching that very carefully. I do see a small pump coming before this thing trades sideways, just like SPY. And then for Aapl, which is going to be the last one I mentioned for now, I see something very similar developing. Aapl is currently, once again, at this low target, continuing to look like it's on a big downtrend because we have this head and shoulders like pattern. And there's likely going to be more downside for Aapl in the future. Apple's fighting 176.5 as resistance. I think Apple's going to hit 176.5 to about 177, just chop around a lot in that area. And then it's going to likely reject somewhere here and come back down towards 175. And then once it's back at 175.5, we could see 175 flat. So look for a little pop and a drop as time goes on. And then when Powell gives his speech, we'll see what he causes. If he's going to cause a big rug pull towards the 172 area, or if we get a big pump towards 177, we'll wait and see. You never know what could happen with Jerome Powell. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm expecting a lot of like sideways price action. I think the market could pump a little bit and then see some sideways price action, but Tesla's going to remain relatively weak. as it still is down quite a bit, and there's going to likely be more downside in the future just to finish filling our gap down below. And we're going to be watching this very carefully. Now, I'm not scared. I'm not afraid. This is just another buying opportunity for Tesla. And with that said, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Get ready for Jerome Powell and the Fed speakers. Thank you again, and peace out.